Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, November 11th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day, whenever I get the chance, anytime I get the chance, all the time. If you like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go check me out over on there. And follow me all the other places or none of them if that's totally fine too. All the show notes, the things that I will be talking about in this episode, hopefully they'll be linked in the show notes. So I said the word show notes too many times. That will be on my blog. So if you'd like to go check out those things, it'll be on my blog. Or if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below. In addition to that, I work at a yarn store. It's called The Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas, and I will leave all the social media, website, all that jazz in the show notes if you want to come check us out in person or online or both. That will be wonderful. We have a lot of knitting to discuss. We have a lot of funness to discuss. We have Stephen West to discuss, which is just so much fun. And yes, so we have a cold front coming as well, which is very exciting. Yes. Are there any books or baking? I don't really know. Anyway, so we have a lot to discuss and talk about and all that jazz. So if you like to go grab something tasty to drink, whether it be hot or cold, something to snack upon, a pet to snuggle, a craft to craft upon, laundry to fold, what dishes to wash, all of the above. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Everybody. Where to begin? Excuse me. So this past week, we had an event at the store in which Stephen West himself came and taught a class on picking colors and putting colors together. It was truly such a wonderful experience. I cannot begin to express to you how kind and nice he is. He is so wonderful, very knowledgeable. Obviously, he has so many fun designs. He puts together so many fun colors, but he's also very genuine. He also gave everyone one-on-one time, which was super wonderful when he was giving his talk about putting colors together and telling us about his story with knitting and design and stuff. He made a point to make eye contact with people, which I think is just wonderful. And yeah, it was not like, I am Stephen West and I am a wonderful designer and you are all little knitters down here. That was not at all what it was like. It was very much like, we're all knitters together and here are some fun colors. Let me help you pick out colors. And so the fact that I have 3 shawls with yarn that Stephen West himself touched, which I know is very extreme and very fangirly, but he still touched them. He still gave his approval to my color combinations. He liked the colors I put together. What? It was so much fun. He, one of the huge takeaways that I had from his class about colors and just figuring out how to put together colors, whether they be more neutral or more bright or whatever, is that everybody has a spirit color, which I think is wonderful. It's just a color that will always bring you joy and make you happy and just embodies you, I guess. Granted, he did a way better job describing it because he had described it in his own way. But yeah, and it's just your spirit color always looks good on you. Your spirit color can be a neutral, even if it's not technically a neutral. Your spirit color will go with anything. You can put it with anything. Even if you wouldn't regularly think that it looked good, it will go because it's your spirit color. And I think that's wonderful. It's just very like, I don't know, I feel like there were color idea walls that were like torn down. That was just like, I can do whatever I want. I can put any color together that I might not have necessarily thought went together before. But if it makes me happy, then that's cool. And he also shared with us some of his like color tips. So he always has like a light and a medium and a dark and just stuff like that that is super helpful and very good to keep in mind when picking colors for anything really. But specifically his shawls. So I now have his third book, which is wonderful, and it's signed. He signed it for me. And then we got to take a picture together with him holding his Starflake shawl, and I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. But I just want to show everybody, so I'm going to show you guys now if you didn't happen to see it. But like, we're holding our Starflake shawls together, and I just can't even, it's still kind of like a dream. Like, I still don't really, like, I've met Stephen West, and Stephen West gave me a hug, and like we talked about colors, and we talked about shawls, and we talked about being from Oklahoma, and like, yeah, like, it was so cool. It was incredible. So if you ever have the opportunity to meet Stephen West, take a class from him, I don't know, you will not be sorry. It's just such a wonderful experience. He's just so nice. He's so kind, he's so genuine, he's so smart, and he's funny. He's very tall, which that doesn't really add anything. I mean, he's tall. He would be kind if he was short. But you know what I mean. Like, it was so cool because he's such a big knitting name, and I've been knitting his patterns for so long, and I finally got to meet him. It was just so cool. It was just so cool. And like, I don't know what else to keep saying about it besides the fact that it was just so cool, because it's like a knitting hero. I got to meet a knitting hero, and I can't believe that. That's just so cool. So I got a lot of yarn. My mom got to take the class with me, which was super fun. It was a blast. And so we have new projects, and it's just so exciting. Where to begin with? Shall we save the new acquisitions for the end? Or what? I don't know. I have just yarn falling all over the place. As long as it's not getting in my tea, I'm fine with that. Let's start with, let's save that for the end so we can like spread out the wonderful Stephen Westness. Okay, so let's start with this one. I apologize. I'm just very scatterbrained at the moment. This is just a slowly but surely getting there progress. This is my Aldous? Still don't know. By Isabel Kramer. Out of Kema Rose Yaku 4/16, I think. In the mauve colorway. It's making good progress. We have a lovely like faux seam. This is where you last saw me, so I haven't made too much progress, but I have made some. This has not been my main thing that I've been working on this week. I got this done on Saturday and Sunday. So, yes. Mainly on Sunday, actually. Yeah, just Sunday. Which that's still pretty good for one day. I am almost done with all the sleeve increases, which means I'll be dividing for the sleeves soon. I have this awesome, like, construction that's super cool and I know will fit really well, and it's just really awesome. My mom is almost done with hers. She sent me a picture last night of her red one, and she was almost casting off her second sleeve, which is just very exciting. And in fact, I will show you the picture. Here's the picture she sent me last night. We were both working on projects together separately. I was at my home and she was at her home, and we were like, we gotta power through, we will get it done. It got too late and we were both very tired, so we did not finish, but we came very close. So my mama is very close to finishing her Aldous or Aldous or whatever. I really need to look that up again. I do apologize. But I would love to wear this for Thanksgiving. That would be really incredible. I would think that was amazing. But I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. If I get it done, that is wonderful. If I don't, that is also wonderful. No shame. I love how this is knitting up. Like, I am going to love wearing this. Even if it's not on Thanksgiving, I will love wearing this thing. Because it's just such a beautiful fabric that is being created. Like, it's just so pretty. And I've just started my second ball, I believe. Let's check for ends. Oh my goodness, everybody. Yeah, this is my second ball. Another thing that Stephen West showed us how to do is knit in our ends as we go, which I cannot, like, this is life-changing news right here. Like, considerably. Like, for real, if I never have to weave in any ends ever again because I've knit them in thanks to Stephen West, who showed me, like, standing not even 5 feet away. Like, what the poop? That's just so amazing. It's life-changing. It will save so much time. I know that this is apparently common knowledge that you can knit in your ends as you go, and like, it is a very straightforward thing, and I don't know why I didn't even think of that to begin with, but like, I did not know this fact of weaving in ends, knitting them into your piece, and them not showing on the other side, and it's just like, what? What? So I have some projects that I will be showing you today that have so many ends that I wish I had known this before, but I'm kind of factoring this in now, so I will have like a fourth less ends than I would have. So I have 3/4 ends to weave in. So much fun, but that's not the point. I was just reminded, but so I did this here, and this creates that line you can see. So I can, once I block this, I can just trim those off. It's already woven in, and like, you can see it when the light shines through, but like, you can't really, once I block it, it'll be not noticeable. So thank you, Stephen West, for your wealth of knowledge and just wonderfulness, making all of our lives so much easier, teaching us how to weave in ends as we go. It's truly wonderful. Truly wonderful. This is my yarn that I'm using, more importantly. Camarose, the Yaku 416 in the mauve colorway. Come on. There we go. So yes, this is what I'm working on, or what I have worked on. This was just Sunday's work. This is not a pressure to get done or anything. So yes, very exciting. Very exciting. That's, again, I'll Do's, whatever, by Isabel Kramer. It's a wonderful pattern. I love her patterns so much. let's take a wee tea break, shall we? Because we got a lot of knitting to discuss, everybody. A lot of knitting. Okay, so next up, let's do this one. Living in my fringe field bag is my class sweater. So I taught a 3-part class at the Modern Skein, a sweater class, where we were knitting the Lillian cardigan, or just Lillian, by Carrie Bosticaj, who I've knit many of her patterns and love them. They are very classic and very nice shapes. It's a black and white picture, so it might be kind of hard to tell, but you get the idea. It's just a plain, open cardigan, ribbed collar. Very good for a first cardigan. We did make some adjustments because, one, the sleeves were knit flat, and if you can knit them in the round, why won't you knit them in the round? Why would you knit them flat? I forgot that there were pockets. I totally forgot about that. Well, that'll be fun. And then the bottom was actually done in garter stitch, like the bottom hem was done in garter stitch opposed to ribbing. And so, I believe one of my students decided to do the garter for all of the cuffs and the hems and the collar, which I think will be super awesome. And then the other one and myself opted for the ribbing. But it's awesome like that because you can do whatever you want. You could do like seed stitch if you wanted to. You could do garter, you could do ribbing, you could do a different kind of ribbing. It's very changeable, which is really wonderful. It has gotten particularly dark, and I wonder if it's getting ready to rain. Guys, the low tonight is 31. The low tomorrow night is 26. Like what? That is so cold. That is very cold. Just too cold for us. Time to pull out those flannel sheets, everybody. I am using, these are like very squishy balls that are like, I don't know. Yes. This is Barocco Vintage DK. Obviously it's a navy color. I do not have any navy sweaters, especially like ones that I have bought or that I have made. So this is quite wonderful. I will now have a navy sweater that I have made. Even better. I have one sleeve going, as you can see. And then I have, we did the collar. That was the 3rd class. And it worked out perfectly because later that evening, after work and all that jazz, myself, Sam, and my parents went to go see the Houston Symphony perform the soundtrack to, can I get it right? Star Wars number 5, which is The Empire Strikes Back. I believe that's correct. Yes, I think that's right. The Empire Strikes Back. And so it was cool because they showed the film on a screen behind the whole orchestra, and they played along with it, which was just so cool. I had never experienced something like that before, but I know that that is becoming more popular and just a really cool thing to do. It added so much to the experience. It was so amazing. So cool. And I got a lot of knitting done. Surprise! I brought my knitting and I worked on it while listening to the symphony and watching The Empire Strikes Back. Side note, that's just so pretty. Stitch definition is just so good. Side note, Sam, my husband, if you are new to the podcast, is quite just, he just loves Star Wars so much. Like, that's not necessarily his knitting, but it's very close. And so for us to get to go and see that, especially number 5, The Empire Strikes Back, that one in particular being his favorite out of the whole series, like, it was just really amazing for him to get to see that, and with the orchestra and just all that jazz. So there was a discussion. Sam has very kindly, as you all may well know, that he is very supportive of my knitting, and he's very supportive of, like, learning the terminology and knowing. He has memorized the weights of yarn in order, in correct order. And so at one point recently, actually, while we were driving to this event with the Houston Symphony and to meet my parents, and I was like, I have no idea which one is which. All I know is that there's 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, and 3 were made, and now there's 7, 8, 9, and it's like, I don't really know the titles. I know there are some of them, but I don't know which ones they are. And so he expressed that I didn't really need to know them at all. It was not really that important, but I was like, but you know the weights of yarn in order. I feel like I should know this because this is a big deal for you. And so I very quickly, like, he said them in order, and I kind of repeated it back to him, and I kept repeating it, and I don't know if I could do it now, but I'm trying to memorize them in order. So yes, so that is the exchange. He knows the weights of yarn in order, and I will eventually know the Star Wars movies in order. So yay, fun times. Okay, can I do this? Okay, so number 1, Phantom Menace. Number 2, Clone Wars. Number 3, Revenge of the Sith, I believe. Number 4, A New Hope. 5, Empire Strikes Back. We do know that. 6, Return of the Jedi. 7, I don't know. It's the one that came out recently. 8, Return. I know it's an R word, but something of Skywalker. And then I don't know what 9 is. But I think I went over that. I don't know. I think I got that right. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna get it eventually, but I'm pretty sure, like, I got those 6, like the foundation, and then I do know, yes, I do know that 4, 5, and 6 were made first, and then 1, 2, and 3 were. I do realize that, but yes, you get it. You get it. I have them memorized. I'm working on it. Yes. So this is what I learned while I was listening to the beautiful, melodious tunes of Star Wars, thanks to wonderful John Williams. I don't think he can compose anything bad. And it was just so much fun. And I think I got a good, I think I was like maybe here at the beginning. So I know it's very hard to see because it's so dark. But I was like here when I started, and obviously I knit from here to there. Boop, boop. During the movie. There was an intermission. There were people in costume. It was very fun. So yes, I am very close to being done with this, which is very exciting. This could potentially be 20 in 2019. Could be number 20. Is that crazy? Yes, it is crazy. But also, it's crazy wonderful. That's what it is. So yes, that is very fun, and I just don't know. Just don't know. So yes, like the fact that I have already knit 19 sweaters in 2019 is just insane. I know obviously I did it, but I couldn't tell you how I did it. Like, I don't really know. I know it kind of stressed me out quite a lot. I think it's just because I had so many test knits this year, like so many test knits, which was wonderful. I got to work with so many amazing people. My nose is itchy. So yeah, like, that's wonderful. Will I do it next year? I don't know. I doubt it. highly doubt it. But I did not think that I could do 19 in 2019. So who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. On last week's episode, I got a comment from a very old dear friend of mine. Her name is Kaylee, and we grew up together in Oklahoma. And she's wonderful. But she asked, or she thought it would be a fun idea, which I think is a wonderful idea. And I didn't even think of doing, so thank you very much, Kaylee. That I have a montage, or just like, hello. I have a just documenting all the sweaters that I've done this year, which I think is super fun. Because there are some that I forgot that I've done. There are some that are at the store. I don't think I have currently at home. But there are a lot of them. So it would be very fun to like figure out how to put something together for the end of the year or like at the beginning of next year, just to kind of like recap what I had done. I don't know. Which, okay, so slight transition. One of the things that I was going to discuss today was my holiday podcast schedule. I don't have any podcast schedule plans currently, but I will be taking time off for Thanksgiving, and I will be taking time off from sometime before Christmas to the end of the year. When that is, I don't know, but I just wanted to let you know that there will be breaks coming, and just so you were aware, I have some non-regular podcast episode ideas for the upcoming holidays, kind of like I did last year. So that'll be fun. But yeah, just so you are aware. And then of course in the new year we'll have knitting goals, going over my goals from this current year and how successful that was. I also kind of want to go over the books that I've read, because I've read a lot of books so far. I've listened to books, I've read books, I've read a lot of them. But I'm gonna see how many I can do until the end of the year. Currently, I am at 70 books. Again, I don't know how that's possible, but apparently it is. It's just been a busy year. It's been a very busy year, and I've loved every minute of it. And now we're talking about end of year stuff, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. So let's get back to knitting, shall we? It's kind of a preview of all the stuff that's coming up. So moving back on to knitting. Everybody, so this is the project that I was working on last night. I set a goal. I told Sam and my mom that I was going to try and get it done last evening. On Sunday evening, I should say. Because you're watching this on Wednesday. Or whenever you're watching this. But for me, it was Sunday evening. And so we had a busy Sunday. It was a wonderful Sunday. We went to church, did all that jazz. Then we drove to College Station to have a birthday lunch with my middle brother-in-law. His birthday is actually today, on Monday, the 11th. And so that was super fun, and then we drove home, and we're just like so exhausted because it had been a long week. We were tired. Time change is the worst. I just can't even. Like, why is it so hard to get used to just like 1 hour before or after like what we're used to? Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? So we kind of just like chilled the rest of the day, which was really wonderful. So I set up my little nesty station thing in bed because the cat was there and it was kind of chilly, so I was snuggled up. I had all my projects that I wanted to work on. I had my computer, I had all my patterns, it was great, I had tea, then later I had some wine, it was awesome, and I turned on Hallmark Christmas movies. And that's pretty much what all I watched all evening. No shame. It was truly wonderful. I had such a good time. So the first one that I watched, don't remember the title of it, but it was just awesome. And so that one ended. Sam came in because he had been playing a game or something with one of his brothers online, and so then he came in and like sat on the bed with me, and we watched a Hallmark, or we finished that one, and then we started the next one, which was the new one for the day, and it was just super awesome. And he was very nice about watching it with me and then making commentary with me, which I really enjoy, and it's just very funny. He then went and made popcorn when I requested it, and it was just very nice, and I just kept on knitting and knitting. And everybody, I am so close to finishing my Advent Cowl. Everybody, that was a huge build-up for something that was very anticlimactic. I do apologize. But this is almost done. Everybody really need to see this. These are all the ends that I wish that I knew that I could knit them in as I go. There are, probably starting around here is where I started knitting them in. So last night, I started with just barely this green stripe, this light green stripe, and then I got all the way through the bright green, pretty much all the way through the red. I have 2 colors left. 2 colors. Like, I'm so close. This is getting done today. I'm like on my last repeat through the whole pattern. So now I'm just crossing off the lines because I don't need to make check marks anymore because I don't need to see the rows again. It's almost done. Is it raining outside? Like, it's just so dark. No, it's not raining. I'm sorry, I was just very distracted. It just seems to be getting darker. Oh, everybody, the fact that this is almost done and the fact that I do have my advent calendar for this year. It's sitting in on my kitchen table. Is very wonderful. I'm just so excited to almost be done with this. So this pattern is the Adventurer Cowl by Amba O'Brien. She wrote it for an advent calendar, but she also has instructions if you're not using an advent calendar. This was from last year, so this is from 2018. This is Suburban Stitcher's advent calendar. It was based off of Christmas movies. So this one actually that I'm working on is one of my favorite Christmas lines, or lines from a Christmas movie. It is like, makes no sense in any kind of like random context, but it's just so funny. But this is Topo Shijo from Santa Claus. So, Pierre Noel. I don't know. Is there a longer name to that, or is it just Topo Shijo? Name? Topo Shijo. Yes, that's why. I don't know why that's one of my favorite Christmas movie lines, but it is, because it's just hilarious. I love that movie. Oh my goodness. So yes, I have 2 more colors. These 2, which is Moose Mug Eggnog, which is this one, and the Polar Express, which is this one. So this is from the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and this one obviously is from Polar Express. So, these are the 2 final colors. I've come to the end of this. It's only taken me a year. No big deal. We're just keeping Christmas alive the whole year round. You know? So yes. I also just really love this bag. I know I mentioned what it is last week, but my mom, apparently these are the shopping bags in the Anthropology in London, which I think is awesome. It's so cute, and it makes for a perfect project bag, and I like how it's very lightweight. You can see through it. Like, it's awesome. So, this is getting done, and it's getting blocked, and I'm going to try and do my best with all the ends. I probably will not be very happy to do that, but I know it needs to get done, so it will get done. It will get done. So for this coming year's advent calendar, my mom and I are doing Dragon Horde Designs, her yarn, Dragon Horde yarn, and Yarn Cafe Creations. They have done year 3 Christmas at Hogwarts advent calendar. So there's just a lot of words. I didn't know what order they needed to go in for some reason. So yes, that's sitting in on my kitchen table. I have all the packages. I have all of it. I'm just so excited. There's a little extra thing that I don't know when I want to open. I think it might be a candle, but I don't know. And I'm gonna save it. It was funny because, so, both of them shipped to my mom's house. And so she handed me the bag when we saw them for the Houston Symphony thing. And since they came just in a box, she had put them in like a grocery bag or something like that, which was wonderful. And so when I got home, I just left it on our kitchen table because I wanted to find like a little box to put them in. And Sam took that upon himself to find a box for me, which was super sweet. So we found, or he found an old Bath and Body Works box. So it's like really pretty on the inside. It's got the blue and white checked pattern. And he cut off the little sides for me, so it's like the perfect size, and he put it all in order, and it was just very sweet of him. And then he wanted to open the box, and I was like, maybe not quite yet. Let's wait on that one. Maybe December 1st? Maybe. That would be nice. I think that would be very fun. But yes. Excuse me. Ooh. But yeah, it's Harry Potter themed, which is fitting with me reading the books. I'm still on number 2, but I've been busy. And like Stephen West is just, that takes up the whole week, you know. In regards to patterns for this year, that's one thing that's like on my for sure to-do list this week, is to come up with a list of patterns so my mom and I can look at them and we can figure out which one we want to do. Because there's some really cute ones out there. There's also a lot of patterns that aren't necessarily written for advent calendars that would work. And you don't even really need a pattern. If you want to do socks, that's awesome. You could just do like a knit in the round cowl-y type thing, and then sew those ends together, and then you've got a really cute cowl, a stripy cowl. I think that would be very fun. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I need to figure out. Or we need to figure out. And once we decide, once that starts, I'm sure I will let you guys know. So, what are you guys doing are you doing an advent yarn calendar? Have you picked out your pattern yet? I don't know. There's just so many options. I'm so yawning. Ugh. Let's move along, shall we? Okay, so now we have gotten to the really super fun part of the podcast. The yarn acquisitions and the new projects, everybody. Oh! This is truly wonderful. Truly wonderful. Let me show you the ones that are still in the skeins, because this will be really easy. Or easier than showing you all the colors that are currently balled up in my project bag. Okay, so out of this beautiful book, this color combination will become a Rockefeller, which was the mystery knit along forever ago. I remember he said what year, but I don't remember what year it was. I do remember like when that was, and we had yarn to do it. We did not finish it. I'm pretty sure I frogged mine. That's okay. Okay, there it is. Yes, was the second West Knits Mystery Knit Along shawl in 2012. The second one. Out of all of them, out of the 10, like what the poop? I've been knitting West Knits patterns for a long time. So this is the Rockefeller. Super cool, right? Super fun. So my colors, my mom got this beautiful bright coral color and then picked out this beautiful like periwinkle purpley blue with speckles of brown to go with it, and just so pretty. And I went a little bit more neutral for this one. which I think is stunning. So this is Life in the Long Grass. The lighter color is called Noon, and the darker color is called Baroque, which is a color that I've had on my eye on for forever. And as you can see, this is Life in the Long Grass. She's from Ireland. I love her yarn very dearly. It is wonderful. I have it in all of these shawls, so that's fun. So yes, this will be the Rockefeller. I'm pretty sure we decided that this will be our January like fun cast on, so that's exciting. The second shawl, so also my goal, since he was going to be helping pick out and put together colors, what I did was I brought several skeins of yarn from my stash that I really wanted to use but wasn't sure, and wanted to put something with them but wasn't sure what exactly to put together that wasn't like a neutral. So I brought this guy because I just love it so much. I have fun memories because this is when Sam and I went on vacation to Georgetown and it was just so much fun. This is from the Knitting Cup. Moon Tower. It's just such a fun skein, and I love the neons. Like, I just love all of it. Like, the speckles are incredible. Like, can we even? Look at that. It's just so beautiful. So I've had this skein. I knew that I could just excuse me, that I could do just like a one skein thing and like let it show off and let it shine on its own, because it definitely can do that. But I also kind of wanted to put something together with it. And so I picked out this one to go with this. And this is Undercover Otter. So this was the special trunk show that we got for when Stephen West was at the shop, because he loves Undercover Otter and she's from Amsterdam and it's just wonderful. This is called, I'm just now realizing what the name of this is, and I have no idea what it's referenced to, but this very lime green, for some reason, is called Your Mother Darns Socks in Hell. I don't know why. It's very odd. But I know she's got reasons for all the colorway names. Anyway, so this is like fun times. And I was like, I walked up to him, the Stephen West. I walked up to Stephen West, you know, no big deal. And I was like, Stephen, I really like these colors together and I really want to do your cafe knitting shawl, which I have had in my queue ever since it came out as a yarn club pattern, which meant that it was not available to the public, so I had to wait a year, and that's been years since then, and like it's available now, I've just never knit it. And I was like, I really want to do a cafe knitting, and he was like, well, what about this one? We'll put this together. And I was like, yes, thank you. So Stephen West picked out these colors. Or he helped me in the right direction. He picked out this one and I picked out the green one. And I brought this one, so I'm stash busting, really. No, it's like, it's helpful. It's stash busting if you can buy a couple skeins to use a couple skeins. You know. I brought 4 with me. I'm using 3 of them. Like 2 of them are in one shawl, and then I'm using this one. So, like, that's still pretty good. I'm stash busting 3 skeins. So I'm super excited. This is also Life in the Long Grass. This is called Maracai? Maracai? I don't know. So, super fun times. It will start with this one, go to the green, and then end with the purple. If you're unfamiliar, the cafe knitting shawl is kind of like an elongated triangular shape with a lot of texture, which is super fun. So I think this will be a very fun combination. It's bright, it's neon, I love it. The Rockefeller is very neutral, and then this other one that I'm about to show you is also pretty neutral, with a little bit of pizzazz. So I wanted to like do something really pow. And that's what I decided on. So anyway, this is my new work in progress, because I did tell you guys that I probably would have a new cast on. No shame, not gonna feel bad. And I do indeed have a new cast on. I'm doing Chevron Shenanigans, which, okay, so also, like, words. There are shawls of his, of Stephen West, that I never thought, like, I was not necessarily a huge fan of. It's not that I didn't like them, it's just that they didn't seem like something that I would want to knit, necessarily. Until I saw them in person, and my mind was completely changed. So, again, if you can see Stephen West in person, he's most likely got some shawls that you can see, and you might change your mind about some shawls that you were like, I don't know how I feel about that. If you see them in person, especially if he's holding them up and he's telling you the story behind them, like, we can't say no to that. Are there pictures on here that do not have the pattern? Okay. So here's one kind of. So it's this, but like much, much bigger. Even though this is still pretty big. But it's like along those lines. So I don't think there's a bigger picture. We have a preview one. Ooh, I like that one. This is such a good book. Also, it's got Herbivore, which I made an Herbivore forever ago, like way back when. Don't know where it is. But he was like, you can make a DK weight one, and I was like, what? I love that idea. I will do that now, when I have time. So this is my Chevron Shenanigans. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we've started off like this. I can't even. So we started off with this Life in the Long Grass color. I think everything should be fine. The battery died. I thought I had plenty of battery, but apparently I don't. So you're a little bit closer because you're currently plugged into the wall. But anyway, to go back to my Chevron Shenanigans, started off with this color, Life in the Long Grass. Super love it. Currently holding it with this leftover mohair from my sorbet cardigan, which I finished this year. That's crazy. I am then using this yarn, which I love. This was a stash yarn that I brought with me. This is Into the Loop, Knitting in the Loop. No, that was the yarn store. Interloop Dye Works. Interloop Dye Works, that is her name. We had a trunk show with her earlier this year, I believe, and I just really love this colorway. Like, it's very different. It's not going to show up very well, but it's just so red, and like, it's got all shades of red and black. And it's just like, oh, I love that. So I'm fading, same with the mohair. I'm not holding the mohair all the way through. I'm just kind of throwing it in. So, okay, how can we do this? Let's figure this out. Okay, so we got this. Oops. And then we got this. Then we're going to fade into another stash yarn. Boop. So this one is one that my mom brought back for me from Colorado. Whoa. We can make this work, you know. Okay, so here we have this. Then we'll have this. I don't know how we can do this. I just want to show you this beautiful fade. There we go. Okay, so there's this. And we'll end with this. This is not a thumbnail. I don't know what is. The things we do for the podcast. So yes, this is my chevron shenanigans. I am so excited. These middle two are stash. This is Ching. This is Life of the Long Grass. And so is this. My nose is itchy because there's just so much fuzz. I have various shades. Goodness. I have various shades of mohair to hold randomly throughout the thing. I'll be fading from this and this and this into this. And yeah, Stephen West picked out these colors for me. I handed him these two and I was like, I think these go together. And he was like, oh yes, they definitely do. So then he put this one in and some other ones. And then he was like, oh, I like this one. And we kept this one. And then he picked out this one, which I would not have picked out. But it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, you don't know that you need it until you actually see it. And then you really need it. And it's like, oh, I really need that. That's for sure what I was looking for. I didn't know that's what I was looking for, but that's what I was looking for. So get we even? I'm just so excited. I love it so much. Ah! Super exciting. It's living in my big bag of yumminess. And I'm just going to shove all these back in here without any planning right now, just because I need to get this out of my lap. But I can fit all of this in here and still have like plenty of room. Like, here, let's put this in here, cinch this up. Yeah, so like there's still plenty of room in here, which is crazy. So this is my chevron shenanigans bag. My mom got yarn for Rockefeller, Marled Magic, which is super fun, and then the Wavy Wiggles, which I can't remember the actual name of it, and I've called it like multiple forms that involve wiggles and squiggles and piggles and I don't know. It's the one that's the same shape as the chevron shenanigans, but it's got the holes in it, and I believe it might actually be in here. Is it in here? The Wavy Wiggles. Page 182. So yes, she's doing this one. I am so excited about what she's doing. 182. Okay, that's still chevron shenanigans. Wavy Wiggles. That's what she's doing. And she's got such a fun color palette, and she's gonna make it really like stripey and scrappy, and it's just so awesome. And it was fun because we finished at the store and we got lunch and we came back to just like hang out, and then like we left and drove back home because my mom drove to our apartment and then I drove us up to work. And so we were just hanging out and we made a cup of tea while we're just chilling before she headed back to her house. And we wound up some yarn, and she pulled from my stash, which was super awesome, to throw into her Wavy Wiggles and her Marled Magic. And so that's super fun, and I can't wait to see what she does, and I'm just super excited. Oh, Stephen West, how wonderful you are with all your wonderful patterns and just being such a wonderful person. Very strong feelings about this, apparently. Clearly, if you couldn't tell. So yes, like, new projects, using stash, using skeins that are special, with the fact that we have all the fun memories of meeting Stephen West and like the fun times with all my friends at the yarn store, and then my mom being there. It was just like such a wonderful day. Such a wonderful day. I will never forget it. I will never forget it. I hope that I can see Stephen West another time in my life, whenever that may be, but like that is a day that I will never forget. It's just so much fun, so much yarny goodness, so much joy. it was just great. It was just truly wonderful. So, side note, real quick, baking, the pumpkin banana muffins that I made last week are like the best. So good. Would highly recommend. I wish I had mushy bananas again this week to make more of them, but sadly I do not, so I need to wait till next week. But that's okay. You know, I just have to wait. In the meantime, I might make some, excuse me, it's a wind advisory. I think it's like, it still hasn't rained, but I feel like it's significantly darker. Oh my, those are very dark clouds. Oh, that would be why. We have figured out why it's so dark. Because that's really important to this knitting podcast. Why is the lighting changing? Oh, it's because there's a storm blowing in. Oh, that's why. I apologize. So yes, baking. The muffins were really great. This week I kind of want to make something that has craisins in it, but I don't think I have white chocolate chips. I might, I don't actually know that. But I do have regular chocolate chips, which I think is just as good in a cookie. Craisins and some form of chocolate chip. Or, yeah, whether it be white or dark or milk or whatever. Semi-sweet. The options are endless. So that's super fun. Yes, in regards to books, I feel like I've been very slow with my reading this past week just because it's been super busy and like it's getting darker. It's kind of bugging me like that I can see that and then it's distracting. I am so sorry. Like I'm kind of in between like the audiobooks that I really want to listen to that I've requested that haven't come in yet and the books that I've finished, and so there's time in between, but there's not enough time to be like, ooh, I'm gonna listen to all these other ones and like check out the ones that are currently available. And oh, the struggles of the online library, such a struggle. It's very dark in here. Is it finally raining yet? Yes. It's raining. There are water droplets on the windows. Ooh, it's very windy too. It's that cold front. It's very dark. Let's see, can we change this? Can we like add some light? That's a little better. There we go. See, with the power of shades, we can direct the light downwards opposed to upwards. Which is what I normally do because it's usually too bright in here. So I point the light up and it like creates nice light. But since it's so dark, I have it now pointed downwards at me so I can light up my face. Important things that not everybody needs to know, and I'm sure you're just really glad that you know now. Also, yes. What else do I need to talk about? I do have a list. It says adult things on it. It's very, very official. Christmas presents, we're just not even going to go into that because it's not really a whole lot on that front. I have fun things in the works, Christmas presents, and yes. So, there's one thing that will be a Christmas present. So, like, nobody comment on the fact that this is another test knit. I know, I said I was not, and I've done so well. Like, for real though, I've done so well. But the fact that I can use this pattern, it's like the perfect Christmas present for people in my family, and it's just like, it's perfect. And it happens to be a test knit, and like, this person, Anita, I believe, or she signed her message Anne, and I'm unsure of which one she goes by. She asked if I wanted to test knit this one. This is the same lady who did the pom-poms on her Starflake, which inspired mine, and then she shared a picture of mine, and it was just like, oh my goodness, this is just so amazing. Like, famous people like what I've done, and this is just so cool. And so then she asked if I could test knit her hat pattern, and I said yes, because it's a perfect Christmas present, and I know it's a test knit, but it's a Christmas present, and like, it needs to get done anyway, so it's okay. It'll be fine. It's a Christmas present. We'll focus on the fact that it's a Christmas present more than a test knit, right? Right. So, I'm excited about that. Not cast on, not decided on my colors or my yarn. I feel like it is very rainy outside. It is very rainy. So, this has been quite a lot. I feel like I've talked so much. There was just a lot to share this week. But you know what? Besides Christmas knitting, not officially test knitting, but Christmas knitting is what we're calling it. Besides that, I have no deadlines. I have no deadlines. And that is such a beautiful and freeing feeling. It's wonderful. It's just so wonderful, and I just feel so great, and I'm like, my knitting mojo is just like on fire, and I want to knit all the things, and I'm going to get this advent calendar done, and it's going to be awesome, and I might wear my all-do's on Thanksgiving, but I might not. It'll be okay. Either way, fun things. And so that is all that I have for you guys this week. There was so much knitting content, so much amazing knitting content. I just had to share everything about Stephen West, because it was truly, like I said, a day I will never forget, an experience I will never forget, shawls that I will never forget, so many fun memories, and I wanted to share that with you guys, and all my other projects as well, because that is very important. Hopefully by next week I will have at least one finished item. We all know what that is. That advent calendar that has taken me a year, but it should be done. It will be done. I will get it done. So that is very wonderful. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I do apologize for its randomness and my distraction with the lighting situation, and the weather. Although I didn't really talk about the weather a whole lot, but we can, but I won't, because this is a long enough podcast already. So I will refrain. If you would like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like, or not at all. That is totally fine. I will not be offended. If you'd like to follow me, or I already said that, in the show notes. Links to things that will be in the show notes, hopefully, if I have forgotten anything, or if you just have random questions. I love a good random question. If I can help, I would love to help. Please send me a message. Instagram is probably the best place to do that. All that jazz, that will be on my blog. So that's cool. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, or hope that they are successful, just plugging away with the Christmas knitting, not test knitting, but Christmas knitting. Just happy knitting in general, preparing for knitting an advent calendar, which is just super fun. Really looking forward to that. Looking forward to knitting in this super intense cold front that's coming. I can start to feel it in my head and my sinuses. Not super fun. Oh, that's what medicine and tea is for, right? Right. Yes. So yeah, I've got a lot of fun knitting ahead of me, which is super great. Lots of fun memories, like I said, and just making progress with everything. Just moving forward with books and baking, and the cat is asleep in the bedroom, I think. I don't know. There's a chair up against a window that he likes to sit at, because then he can look out the window. But he normally just sleeps there. But I think he also likes the fact that there is a window. We have to make sure to open up the blinds in the morning though, otherwise he will just be looking at blinds, which is boring. But he still likes to sleep there, which this is irrelevant to the podcast. I do apologize. So yes, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you for watching my podcast in general and leaving comments, likes, all that jazz. I realize that there are so many amazing podcasts out there that are way more organized and way less ranty than my own. They don't get distracted by the lighting and constantly keep mentioning it. And I do. And yet you still watch my podcast, and that means so much to me. So thank you so much. You are wonderful. I appreciate it. Yes, that is all the knitting that I have. There was a lot this week. There was so much, and I have talked about all of it. So with that, I will see you guys